Hi guys, welcome back to the Cranberry Cornstalk YouTube channel, the channel where we share our love for primitive decor. Last week I started a video showing you how I made a Santa Claus doll. Now this can be applicable to any kind of doll that you're interested in. It can be, what I'm looking forward to is Cupids. This is Christmas time, so next will be Valentine's Day and we can work on Cupids, and after that Easter bunnies. So use this with your imagination to create a beautiful sculpture or just the face for a doll, hands, maybe feet, maybe just a sheep or a cow, something, to add to one of your dolls. All of you doll lovers out there. So this is just a continuation. I promise I will not talk as much as I did the last video. I had someone comment that it was too much talking, and I agree. I'm not typically that much of a talker, but I had a lot of information to squeeze into that one, so I'll just keep it short and sweet this time. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I'm looking forward to the new year. Hope you are as well, and let's get started. Well, let's finish making the doll that we started last week and continue on to the second doll that we made. And after that, I don't know what's coming up next week, the next video. We'll find out. I do want to share with you some exciting, I'm talking too long already. I want to share with you some really exciting, something new from the Cranberry Cornstalk. We've purchased something, and the only reason I share is not for any kind of braggery or anything like that. It's just to share with you because I know when I was not this far and I was maybe further back in my journey of decor and creating for my business, the Cranberry Cornstalk, before I really branded myself, I remember watching other people go through different steps and processes and levels of their growth. And that's the only reason I want to share some of the things I do with you, just to show you where you can get to, and hopefully we're all successful in the end. All right, guys, I'm shutting up now. Let's get started. Okay, guys, in the last video, I showed you two different armatures. This was the first one we talked about, and it was drying while I showed you how I made the second one. This was kind of a scary step. I didn't know what the face would look like. Here, that face armature is with the doll, and I got it dressed. I made a corduroy jacket out of some old pants, and I wanted to show you what the feet part looked like. I had these wires sticking out. I was going to put it in a base and then just, glue it onto a wooden base, but I decided to go ahead and make some boots, some Santa boots to go with the doll. And I just rolled up, you can see it in Mountain Dew carton. I cut it, strip out and rolled it to make the top part of the boot. And then the bottom I used some more cardboard along with some foil. And then I just wrapped some more clay. I rolled it out like I showed you to make it the even depth of the clay, and then wrapped it around the boot to make a boot for the armature. And the plan was just to slide these onto the bottom of the doll like this. This was the next day after one dried. And I knew it would crack. I planned on it cracking. It didn't do too bad because I had drawn places to put laces and stuff in the boot. So I figured if it cracked at all, it would crack where I carved the indentations and stuff at. So it wasn't too bad. And here you can see I'm just trying to patch the places that it did crack. And I was planning on just wrapping the pant around the top of the boot, so none of the armature would show through, and it'd be pretty much hidden, and it would still give me the flexibility if I wanted to bend the legs at all. I would have that space in between the body part and the bottom of the boot. So that was the plan. I put the first one on as I showed you, but then I tried to build the second one. I wanted to see which was easier, whether if I build it on and slide it onto the armature, or if I just build it around the wire of the armature. And this one seemed to be a lot easier, just putting it on the armature and then, building it up on there versus trying to do it before and sliding it on, because it was very difficult to get the wire down through the entire length of the boot without cracking the clay. So after I did both boots, I'll just tell you that it's easier to build the boot around the armature than try to slide the wire through the boot. Just a tip for you. And you see on the other boot there, I still have a wire sticking out. It became quite problematic. And at the bottom of the boot, I had tape from the armature sticking out, which kept it from setting on the base level. And I'll just let you watch the rest of the video as to what happened. And here's me just fixing the crack of the second boot the following day as it had dried out. So I'll just let you watch to see what happened. So as I was trying to trim the wire off the bottom of the boots so that I could slide it into the wood holes, it crumbled into pieces everywhere. I had let it dry overnight. I had already dried it and sealed it and, went through the whole process of a couple of days. And here it is trying to cut the wire off of the boot. It crumbled. So I suggest, I learned from that and moved on to, I suggest you put it in the base totally and then build your boots between the armature and the base, because I think it's just too much handling of the clay and it just couldn't hold up between drying and patching, and then I did try to salvage what I had and poke a hole into the boot so I could slide the wire the whole way through and work at that. It just, nope. So I just had to rebuild the whole entire boot. But I found out, the one thing I did learn was that if you attach the armature to the wooden base, secure it down, then build your boots on after that, or whatever piece you have to add after that, it works much better. So just a heads up on that one. So here I am starting over, rolled the cuff on the pants back up, got the wire attached and glued down to the height I needed it. And then I just didn't want to destroy the wood and have it all covered in clay and then try to repatch, making it black again to match, which I did end up getting it pretty messy, but I think this might have saved some of the permanent clay markings that I would have gotten on here. So I just wrapped some foil around the bottom of the wire armature to build my boot once again